Hey guys, I just wanted to apologise because as you can see I'm currently on holiday in Croatia. We batch recorded a bunch of episodes right before I went away, and unfortunately some issues happened with the audio, so we can't use the proper audio. We have to use the audio from the camera mic. The answers are still there. We wanted to release the episodes and provide that value, but the audio quality might not be quite as good as it usually is. So thank you for bearing with us, and I will see you when I get back home.
In today's episode, we talk about how to get more confidence. Welcome to episode 62 of the Honest Entrepreneur Show. My name's Tom Ross, and let's get into it. Today's fun fact: I am definitely one of the people who, when I watch Netflix, I kind of watch 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 shows simultaneously. I think this modern society we live in has given me the attention span of a gerbil, so I'll literally just jump from show to show to show, often not seeing them all the way through. And I think that's terrible, because when I was younger, TV was so terrible by comparison that I would have killed to get shows of the quality we now get, and now we're just spoiled for choice.
This question is from Fred. How do I build confidence? I struggle with presenting my work, posting it on social media, or pitching it to potential clients.
Hey Fred, welcome to the show. Everyone, if this is the Fred I'm thinking of, Fred is 16, I believe, and he's an awesome member of the community, so I appreciate you, Fred. And guess what? I probably wasn't at my peak confidence at 16 either. So before I even answer your question, just realize your confidence, haven't maxed out. It will probably continue to increase for a good number of years from now. That being said, I've been talking a lot about this recently. In terms of confidence lies the other side of fear. That is just the most honest answer I can give you. The more stuff you do that scares you, the more you push outside your comfort zone, the more confident you become. And I just don't know a better way of doing it than that, because this has played out again and again and again in my life. And I've got to the point I'm becoming addicted to actually doing the stuff that scares me. That's why I went and started publicly speaking. And now I want to go and do more and more of that, because that was my biggest fear in life. And guess what? As soon as I did it, it wasn't half as bad as I thought. In fact, I loved it and it actually went really well. And now I'm great. I feel more confident, right? This thing that was hanging over me, this fear, this insecurity, this lack of confidence, it's not there as much anymore in that area because I've tackled that demon. So I would do that. And I talked recently, more and more members of my community are doing this. We had Dave Williams, who went and cold pitched 15 shops in his high street like an absolute boss, even though he wasn't confident. He just walked in the door and pitched his services and had those conversations with complete strangers. And good for him. I guarantee he's more confident on the back of having done that. And so do it in everything. I'm not even talking professionally. It's do you like a girl or a guy on a night out? Go and talk to them. I really, really enjoy that stuff. And we all not enjoy going talking to girls because I've been with my girlfriend for a while. But I enjoy the premise of leaning into what's scary. And I'll give you another one. I was at Birmingham Design Festival recently, and initially, the main event hadn't kicked off. So we were outside, and I was with my friend Ian Barnard, and it was a little bit awkward, to be honest. Everyone sat in these groups and cliques, and we were like, oh God, this feels like being an insecure teenager. We were scared to go and start talking to strangers, which feels quite unusual because now I do that all the time. But in that setting, something about it felt really closed off, and it was I almost got time portaled back to being 15 years old and scared to do that stuff. And so I had a moment where I went like that, and I almost was screw it, let's go to bed, I'm not going to bother. But then I just forced through, jumping out of a plane, I just forced through that uncomfortable moment, struck up a conversation. Before you know it, we're talking to 4 people who actually were super interesting, didn't mean to appear closed off, and that led to some great relationships happening. So over and over again, whether it's huge stuff like jumping out of a plane, which is now on my bucket list because I hate heights, or it's literally talking to that stranger, leaving an Instagram comment. In fact, if this is young Fred, what's the name that we have, Marco?
Fred Brown.
Yeah, it is. All right, so this is perfect because recently Fred was literally so unconfident in certain areas that he was scared to post on Instagram, to the point he'd been on Instagram commenting and networking and doing a great job with that. I think the guy's got like 700 followers and he's never made one post. So you go on his profile, you see all these followers, not one bit of content, because he lacked the confidence to put it out there. So on a live call, we literally forced Fred in a nice way. We were like, it doesn't matter what it is. And I think we got him to photograph some books he's reading at the minute and recommend them and be like, here's what's on my bookshelf. And he did that and he posted it. And we wouldn't continue the live call until he'd done it, just to prove a point. And he did it. And hold on, I'm gonna do this live. So I'm just on my phone for anyone listening to the podcast. I'm going to go to Fred Brown Designs. So he's now gone to 800 followers for the record after he put out a bit of content. And his first post, because when we're on the call, I was like, everyone go like support this. It has 108 likes and 54 comments. And he never would have got that if he hadn't have actually, taken that leap and lent into the fear and done what was uncomfortable and made that post. And I'm so happy. Although at the same time, that post was 12 days ago. So Fred, step your game up. Lean outside the comfort zone. You should be posting more often than that. And I'm definitely going to give you a hard time on the next call and get you leaning into the fear again. But how awesome is that? That's his initial step of building confidence. I guarantee, Fred, you now feel that little bit more confident than you did before you did that post. So do it again and again and again until suddenly posting doesn't scare you. Talked about this at length on this show. I was so terrified of my first selfie video, and now I just sit here and talk shit to camera and answer your questions in real time. I have no idea what they're going to be. I do a live call every single week where people fire questions at me. I walk down the street talking to my phone, looking like an idiot in front of strangers in public. I don't really care about any of it, but that confidence only comes from baby steps in the right direction of leaning outside my comfort zone. So I would do that, Fred. Question of the day. What is something that scares you that you think you might want to try?
Thank you so much for watching this episode. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm really enjoying the YouTube show. If you are too, then be sure to hit the subscribe icon and tick the little bell to get notifications when I post new content on this platform.